my music. Hi, YouTube. I think you can hear my music. What? Need some bigger speakers, I think. We're on YouTube as well. I haven't seen anyone jump on yet. Awesome. Thank you, Cian. Right on time today. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I had to get everything set up as per usual. Richard. This is for Alex. It's part of our protocol. You're gonna dance. Okay. Such a great tune. I thought I'd blast some music for today, guys. Music is so good for the soul. Have a big, very big bright light there. All right. Hi, guys. I just made this song. I just love. I don't know if anyone can hear it, but it's mainly just for me and you guys out there. Hi, everyone. How are we all doing there out in the world? I'm back again. If you haven't seen my videos before, you guys on YouTube there, big hello. My name's Emma Jones. I'm a Demodex care consultant at Ungex. So please, oh my God, there's Randall. Hello, dear friend. Big hello to Randall, and I hope you're doing well, Randall. We've still got to check ins and see how you are. I'd love to have a catch up with you. So please message me. Hello, beloved Randall. Randall has been one of our customers that used our treatment, and he had some really great results with it. So we do have, if you want to check back, and guys on YouTube, we do have our Demodex support group page on Facebook there. So yes, we will. Sounds good. So please jump back on. You can even check our YouTubes, go back and have a look at our videos with Rennell. I did some interviews with Rennell, and he shared his personal story with Rennell. So please feel free to touch base with him. Rennell was suffering more environmental mites, which we'll get into soon. So our products helped him a lot. Because environmental mites are a bit different to Demodex, which I will get into, but that was part of his treatment journey, and a big part of it is uncovering what's going on along the way. So hi guys, big warm welcome to all our new people in our group there as well. I think I've seen a fair few people come through on the last week as well, so it's growing bigger and bigger every day. A bit like Demodex, unfortunately. So there is a silver lining to that support group. You know, we created it for you guys to give you a platform to talk about skin mites and how very real it is for a lot of people suffering with skin mites. So if you haven't seen me before, please feel free to comment. Also on YouTube there, guys. So big hello. I know there's some followers on our YouTube channel as well. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Just search Ungex and you'll will come up there on our channel. So there's a lot of great videos on there. You'll see like microscopic tests as well. Generally, there's a few on there from me. I go over treatment and what we do at Ungex. So yeah, we've got a lot of content on our YouTube channel, also Instagram. We've got a great couple of Instagram pages as well. So please jump on and follow if you haven't already. Yeah, so welcome, guys. I hope everyone's doing well. As I said, I'm Emma. So please feel free to comment any questions you have throughout the video as well. I tend to go on the Mite Talk train for a bit. So please feel free to jump in, ask any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. They're really handy to have, especially on the video as well. If it's more personal, I'll private message you afterwards. So, and I'll leave my email address and contact information as well. So, Demodex mites, this crazy alien thing behind me, right? Horrible, something out of sci-fi film, really. They're absolutely awful. They are a microscopic parasite, and this is what they look like under the microscope. So that's them there. There's two types that live in the human body, Demodex brevis and Demodex folliculorum. So as you can see, this is them under the microscope. They have these horrible long tails. They've got 8 legs. And they can cause so many problems for a lot of people. And one main thing that I think is a lot of what I talk to people, and that's my job. I listen to what you guys are going through, and a big continuous same problem everywhere is that, you know, you go to your dermatologist, you go to specialists seeking help. You know, I've got something on my skin. I can feel something crawling on my skin. And a lot of the time, unfortunately, doctors tend to be very dismissive of skin mites. Or, you know, unfortunately, I know a lot of people end up getting prescribed medication for an antipsychotic, which is absolutely horrible. So, you know, I feel for you guys, and we know how hard it is. So that's probably one of the things that that really I empathize with you guys, because that's really horrible. You know, you go to specialists asking for help, and they're very dismissive. So we're here. We know it's real. It is very real. There's proof. Sorry, YouTube, you can probably see a bit of my work from home setup behind me. So I'm going to talk about today. I will go into Demodex mites, of course, as I do, but I actually wanted to go over the protocol today, how the products are to be used and why they work. So basically, Demodex mites, and I have spoken before. As I said, they're a microscopic parasite. So they are a common mite. Everyone on Earth, every human on Earth has them. I have them. Everyone that you know do have a microscopic parasite. Hi. So, but the problem is they're not so much of an issue when there's like 1 or 2, right? We can hardly feel it. And they're super tiny. Tiny. Thank you. So yeah, you can barely feel them at all. But when they're in a higher population density area, they grow in numbers because they do mate and breed on our skin and lay their eggs deep in our hair follicles. So I don't have a little cross section here, but they live deep in under those hair follicles. So they're really hard to target. So when there's a heap of them in one area, that's when they can cause a lot of ongoing skin issues. So number one question, my auntie recently asked me, she was like, oh, what? I hadn't seen her in years. And she's like, oh, what do you do? And I said, you know, I help treat people for skin mites. And she's like, but how do you know if you've got them? So number one reason to find out if you do have those populations of mites is if you have any crawling or any itching on the skin. So it may not just be, you know, a once off, right? If we, of course, I've, you know, and scratch my skin, but if you continuously feel that creepy crawling and biting, that is very evidence that they are present on the skin. And another indication, if you have ongoing skin issues such as blepharitis, dermatitis, any flaking of the skin, acne that is not going away. Rosacea is a very sensitive skin condition as well, which can be caused from the mites. Hair loss, they can cause hair loss. I've spoken to a lot of people that are suffering from hair loss from them. So many. Hair loss, itching of the scalp. Itching is the number one indication they're present. They can cause large poring of the skin, some discoloration of the skin. The list is ongoing, just like the skin symptoms. So if you jump on ungexau.com, that's our website, and you can have a look at all. We've got a lot of information on our website, guys, so jump on. I usually do some walkthroughs as well on our site, so they can cause all those problems and more. So they basically, because they feed off our good oils in our skin. So our sebum, which is the oil in our skin and follicles that helps our hair to grow, that's their main source of food. So all that good stuff that's helping our hair and skin to grow, that's what they find super attractive and super yummy. So the more there are, and the more there are feeding off this oil, it is then, really starving your skin of those nutrients that we need. So it can be very horrible. So I'm going to have a drink of water because I do talk. Another way to find out, I do talk, is take our online quiz. So if you go to ungexau.com, there's a quiz there, and I have done a few run-throughs before of the quiz, and it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. It's really super easy. You just fill in all your information. We ask what your skin is like, mainly what you're putting on your skin, that can really determine as to why you have higher numbers as well. So if you've been, if you're suffering from ongoing rosacea, not knowing that it's mites playing a very real underlying role of these problems, a lot of the time, people use a lot of moisturizers, different treatments on the skin, shampoos, etc., etc., more so chemical based when it comes to people's skin mites, because you try and get these things off your skin. So we understand why people turn to a lot of harsher treatments. I know people that have poured bleach on themselves, use tea tree oil as well, which is great for killing mites and anything. We do have a small percentage in our products, but consistent use of the skin over time just absolutely fries your skin out. So it's very hard treating mites, that's for sure. We've been in business since 2011, so we know what we're doing when it comes to mites. Our founder, Syed, he created the products, Syed Bebahani, and he was suffering with mites himself. So, we know what we're talking about when it comes to mites, because they are very hard to treat. But we treat for the long term, because there's a lot of stuff out there. I know I've seen on the group, I get why people, start doing home remedies and stuff like that, because the lack of support and correct treatment out there for you guys. So I'd like to think we are the correct way to eliminate these mites for the long term, because there's a lot of stuff out there that really just only have a short-term fix or can alleviate those symptoms, whereas we treat for mites. We get to the root of the problem, so to speak. So jump onto the online Demodex test. It's really good. We ask you, there's a lot of things to factor in as well. Like, people say, why me? Why do I have mites? And, people in my family aren't feeling these same problems. Is that the immune system plays a very big role. I would say 80% of, people I talk to, they unfortunately do have that compromised immune system. And there's so many other factors. No two people are the same. Everyone has completely different skin. So just because, you know, you're reading about mites and this person suffering these type of symptoms and you're not feeling exactly that, doesn't mean you have them. They just might behave differently on you. You might have more rosacea than blepharitis because they do move and migrate to hotter areas of the body. They love heat. So, you know, it's a common misconception. A lot of people I know think, oh, I'm gonna go in saunas. I'm gonna do my, you know, do my washing at really hot temperatures, but they actually really like heat. It is more humidity, and heat is a more favorable environment for them. It just, you know, you think of like the Antarctic where it's super, super cold. You know, there's less life. It's the conditions are more inhospitable for something to live in. It's not to say the polar bears are pretty awesome, but the conditions are less favorable for them to breed and, you know, and mate in. So anyway, but that's something we go over in our treatment system, and a big part of what we do at Ungex is that, you know, we really, I'd like to think, I know this, and thank you. There's so many great people out there that always give me praises on the group, and thank you so much, guys. You know, it means a lot to me because I give a lot. We give a lot to our job, and I give a lot to you guys, and to see you guys put in that hard work and get results. And I know the products work. I've seen it work, and it does take time. You know, you've got to be realistic about treating skin mites because it's not an overnight thing. If it was, that would be incredible. If Demodex were completely curable, we wouldn't exist, basically. So I'm just having a cup of tea. I'll just see if there's some people. Okay, I've got one person on YouTube. That's cool. So basically, we work to treat for the long term. So we work to get those populations that definitely have people in the severe high infestations, suffering from head to toe with an overall body infestation. And of course, if these problems have been ongoing for some time, it's going to take time to decrease these populations. And the way we work is we work in the life cycles of Demodex. So when the Demodex are most active at night, so that's when they come out from under the skin, they come to the surface of the skin at night. They tend to hide away in the daytime more because they don't like UV light. You can see that guy behind me is, I feel like, who's going, yep, no, I hate it. Get that light away. So they tend to hide out more during the daytime. It's not to say that people still feel them throughout the day, but they are just more active at night. Nocturnal. So that's when they come out to play. They come to the surface of the skin, and that's when they feed off all the oils. And then not only that, they eat and eat and eat and then release bacteria. So you're not only dealing with the mites that are eating away and causing, you know, all these physical horrible things. You're dealing with that bacteria that gets left over on the skin by them as well. So that bacteria causes that inflammation of the skin and the pores. So like with rosacea, that's a very sensitive skin condition as well. So people, unfortunately, if you've got more sensitive skin, you may be just more on the side of higher infestation as well. So, you know, there's a lot of these things to factor in. I do know some people, you know, they're like, ever since I went to this place or I saw this person, I was in someone's house that was really dirty, there was dust mites and a lot of things going on, and you had a really you've got a really compromised immune system, your skin's not good in general, it just means, you know, you're just at a higher risk as well. So there's a lot of factors that can go into why you and I wish I knew all the answers, but unfortunately I don't. I also don't have x-ray vision, so the biggest part of treatment is that we track the process. So we work in the life cycles of them, and we target them when they are the most active at night. So you've probably seen myself or Siad, we've done some videos and we go over the products and protocol. So it is a system, it is a treatment system, and it consists of 4 products. So this is them here, and it's no creams, because creams, topical ointments, stuff like that, anything that has oil-based properties potentially feed the mites. I just see everything now and think mite food, mite food. So if you've got hair loss, and I know hair loss in itself is hard to treat. Hair takes time to grow back. If you're trying to treat hair loss and putting a lot of really nice products on, or hair treatments, basically you're feeding the mites. So what happens is you try to regrow that hair, but it's not working because the mites are feeding off all these products and stuff like that. So it really becomes a waste. And look, I do know a lot of people, just this week, they're like, why would I come to you guys? It's a big investment. It is a cost. We totally get that. But it is like, you can't put a price on your skin, And I know a lot of people out there, it's like, I've tried everything under the sun. What makes you guys different? And the big difference is we do it realistically, and you have to follow everything we say, and to use the products correctly, because otherwise it's just going to be a waste for you guys. I know people that have been suffering with mites, and they bought the products, and we check in with them. We check in on a monthly basis, fortnightly basis in the beginning, just to see how you're going with the products. So I've checked in with people, they're not even using it. So, you could have been like nearly almost to the point of like 0 mites. I mean, that's the goal. But realistically, we've got to get those populations down to a manageable level. And it is hard in treatment, guys, because the biggest part of treatment is called die-off, and that's when the mites begin to die. So how the products work, it consists of 4 products, which is a cleanser, a hair tonic, and 2 sprays. And the 2 sprays, SDT and PDT. I must be using the PDT, but I'll get these. Oh no, I've got it there. So these 2 sprays are the most important, SDT and PDT, because they're the ones that kill the mites. The other 2, hair tonic and cleanser, the cleanser helps to remove bacteria. So all that horrible bacteria build up left over by the mites, we need to get off your skin. So that's number 1 in the protocol. It's also a 2-in-1. So this is like your shampoo, your skin, your body, everywhere. So basically how you use it, it's a 4-step system. And you have to do everything at night, because nighttime's the right time. As I said, nighttime's the right time. I just made up that song. So basically how it works, you do get a user guide obviously with the products, and generally I touch base with you just to go over and clarify the use of the products, because that's really important. If you can't pick and choose. You can't go, I'm going to do I'm going to cleanse every night, and I'm going to cleanse every day, and then I might put some spray on one night, and I might just do this. It doesn't work like that. You can't. My colleague Alex, she's like, you can't. It's not like an IKEA thing. You can't just like throw the instructions away and do it yourself, because that's not going to get you the best results. So I shouldn't laugh at that. It's just, also you have to shower. You still have to wash. It's very important that you do, because but then also you don't want to over cleanse the skin. So with using the cleanser, we advise like a couple of pumps in the palm of your hand, And of course, if you're treating more of a larger area, if you're doing, do a couple for your hair, maybe just one for your hair, because it does have some chemical properties, not, it's still perfectly, all the products are completely safe to use on the skin and no side effects. So it's all natural ingredients. You can have a look at ingredients, all the ingredient properties on the list of products, because I do know some people do have that sensitive skin, so they're wary of ingredients in the products, but we make sure there's nothing, we go in slowly as well, and that's a big part of the treatment system. We work with your skin sensitivity, we work with your skin type. So as I said, there are people in treatment that do have the same problems, of course, but then I've got some people that just are way more sensitive. I've got some people that have really good skin tolerance. So that's a big part. That's a big difference between us and, say, other things out there. I know there's a lot out there on the market, but we're not going to go, here's products, give us money and see you later. That's not my moral standing, for one, and that's not what we're about. So and look, it is hard for me. I have about 70 plus active clients at the moment. So I try very hard to touch base with everyone. So I do apologize to people that I haven't checked in with for a bit. But I'm always here for support when you need us as well. So for me, some days it's hard to keep up with everyone that's suffering, and there's a lot of people out there. So anyways, the cleanser, as I said, with cleanser, it's really important not to over cleanse the skin. And look, people do it. I have done it. Everyone does it. You just wash and wash and wash. You just want to get the mites off your skin. You just want to get that debris off. But unfortunately, it has the opposite effect if you do too much of it. So if you're cleansing day and night every day, you're going to start to strip the skin's natural barriers. So you're going to really dry your skin out. So the cleanser is only to be used every 2 to 3 days. Some people every 3 to 4, if that. Because we don't want to overwash the skin, because too much washing can make you more vulnerable again. So we work with that fine balance. We've got to control the oils in your skin, be gentle to your skin, but also get rid of mites. So big job. It's a big job, and you guys are the ones putting in the hard work, but we've got the tools. So that's the cleanser. That's step one. So you get a good lather up in the shower, and that's to be washed off the skin. So that removes all that bacteria left over by the mites, and especially throughout the treatment process, because what happens is the mites begin to die. So we've got to remove all that debris, dead bodies, etc., off the skin, clear the skin, basically. So you wash it off, and a big part of treatment is ending showers with cold water, because that helps to remove excess heat from the body. And all these little tips we give you in treatment as well. And that's a big part of what you invest in. And then the next step is our hair tonic, which is probably one of my favorites. So the hair tonic, and all the bottles look the same. You do get some little stickers so you can differentiate. I know a lot of my customers even put 1, 2, 3, 4 on it. So this is the DHT, the hair tonic. This is a lovely one. This helps to promote hair growth. I've had some really beautiful customers that have had a lot of severe hair loss, and it took time, but their hair started to grow back in once we cleared the skin of mites, which I was so happy for. And our hair is everything. Our skin is everything, right? So the hair tonic helps to control the populations on the scalp, and also to promote that new hair growth. So that basically acts as your conditioner. So you've got the cleanser that works as your shampoo and wash, And then the hair tonic acts as your conditioner and helps to regrow the hair, but also helps to control populations on the scalp. They do tend to migrate to the scalp a lot more. Generally, the scalp is a lot more tolerable than the skin as well. So all the products are to be used on damp skin, and we say damp skin because especially after the shower, while your skin is not dripping wet, while it's got that nice hydration in it, and the pores are nice and open. I know a lot of people say, why would you use put cold water on, because that helps to close the pores. But this is to help with mites and pushing the products deeper. So on damp skin helps to spread the products more evenly onto the skin as well. So that's a big reason why we say on damp skin. So step 2 is the hair tonic. So after you have your shower, you do your cleansing, you sing a song. Then on towel dried hair, if you are suffering with hair loss, you then apply the hair tonic, and you make sure you get it right in the follicles of your hair. I've got quite short hair, so it's a bit easier, but I know a lot of ladies out there and guys with longer hair, it can be a lot more. I understand, difficult to get to, but as long as you target the scalp, primarily the scalp, and on your head close to the follicles, and spray, we advise with the bottles, because they are small, but they have been made this way by our research and development team to not cause overuse, because a little does go a long way. So we recommend between 4 to 10 squirts of the hair tonic, and then you just do it on damp hair, and then you give yourself a little massage, and you sing a song, piss off mites, I've got you under control. I'm in a singing mood today. And you let that marinate for about 10 to 15 minutes, just so it has time to soak into the follicles. Give yourself a little massage. So then after you do step 2, you then go in with SDT, which is our skin demodex treatment. So the SDT is a more milder solution of the two. So that's for people if you've got blepharitis, rosacea, or more sensitive skin in general. We recommend, and as a baseline, to start off with the SDT, because we need to work your skin's tolerance levels up to work to the stronger stuff, which is PDT. So that's all what we go over in treatment with. We go through the protocol to make sure you're doing it correctly. So then it's really straightforward. You start off, and after you let your hair marinate, you can then do the same application for SDT or PDT, but that's something we go over in treatment. But generally it's SDT to begin with for the first month. And then you do the same. So you apply the same 4 to 10 squirts on the scalp. It's totally at your discretion, but again, it's on damp skin means it's covering that area, that surface area. So you don't have to do 100 squirts, because if you're squirting on top of where you already squirted, it's already on your skin. So, you're wasting the products really. So, we recommend 2 to 3 squirts on the face, if not more, if you feel like you need. But of course, if you're doing, 2 or 3, I did 4 then. That's covering the surface area. So it almost feels like a matte feeling on your skin. I actually really like the smell. It reminds me of my mum's ironing. And I've used the products myself. I've also used it on my cat. He's here somewhere. He doesn't have fleas now. The product's perfectly safe to use on pets. SDT is really good for animals, because animals also do have Demodex. So a lot of people, I was talking to some people this week, and they said, I think I got it from my animals, and very much so, very real, because they are contagious. So, you can use the SDT on your cats. You can also use the cleanser on your dogs and cats as well. It's perfectly fine to use. So then as I said, You just spray all those areas on your torso, your head as well. And then basically what happens, the products work for a 12-hour time frame. They stay active on the skin while you sleep, if you can get some sleep. I know it's very hard dealing with mites. I was talking to someone that had insomnia, and I totally get it. So then basically we cocoon you in product, because when the mites come out to wreak that havoc, they've got nowhere to go, because the products on your skin starts to kill them. So the reaction of the mites dying is that die-off reaction, and this is the hardest part of treatment. I'm sure my customers can agree, is we then have to go with these die-off cycles. So it's a very hard part of the treatment process, because die-off means that your symptoms will get worse and it could become enhanced, but it just means the product's working. So you say, say for example, if you spray an insect, right? You spray a cockroach or something, it starts to freak out before it dies. So it's very much the same for mites, but you times it like by 1,000. So you've got to remember they're microscopic, and there's thousands of them. So that's the skin's reaction picking up on that. So unfortunately, it does get a bit worse before it gets better, but we have to break through these large populations that are coming to the surface. So while we are doing that, at the same time, we've got the eggs deep in the hair follicles that haven't even hatched yet. So I'm just giving you, and that's the hardest part for me as a consultant, to say how many life cycles you have. Because again, I don't have X-ray vision. Unfortunately, I'm working on that superpower. So their life cycle, as I said, during the day, the mites hide under the surface, hook to the sebaceous follicles and glands. So at night they come up and mate and return to the skin again. So that's when they lay their egg. Females lay their eggs 12 hours after mating inside the follicles or glands, where there's heaps of oil to feed the babies. So each female can lay 15 to 20 eggs, which hatch to larvae in 2 to 3 days. And then it takes about 7 days for the baby mites to become adults. And during this time, they gradually crawl up to the surface to mate, and then become adolescents, and then the life cycle is nearly 14 to 16 days. So this is what we work in. We work in these life cycles. What comes first, the Demodex or the egg, right? So yeah, this is what we target in these cycles. So eventually it does get to a point, and when you're using the products every single night, I know it's hard, but you do make progress. In the early stages, it is the hardest, but that's what we're here for that support. I've had a lot of people that give up in the early stages, which is really disheartening, because you've got to trust the products, because I've seen it work. It's not an overnight thing, guys. It certainly isn't. In saying that, I've had people that have done the treatment for a month, and they're like, I'm so much better, which it just means their skin they don't have as many problems going on. They've, got lower infestations. They've got a really good immune system. So there's so many things that factor in the treatment time. Most importantly, PDT. That's our strongest spray. So that's number 4 in the protocol. And what we recommend is, before getting into bed, spray some on your pillowcase, your sheets. So basically, we're protecting you from anything coming off the skin, the Demodex coming off the skin, or anything going back onto you, because they do live off the skin for 52 hours and they die after that time period, because they've got no source of food. So in that time, they can cross transfer. but Demodex are a lot easier to target off the skin than they are on the skin. But this is something that we, of course, go over in the protocol. And then the PDT, it is the strongest. We work up to that. It's like we've got to go to the gym, you've got to go to the gym every day and put that hard work in, and then you'll start seeing results. So you can't go to the gym and expect a six-pack in like seconds. I mean, that'd be amazing. But it takes time, unfortunately, guys. So yeah, that's how our protocol works. It's really easy. There's a lot of tips and stuff we give throughout the protocol as well. To help treat your environment, and everything we go over there. So that's all what you get. That's what you invest in. So it is a long-term investment. But most importantly, I've talked a lot again. We have our big sale on at the moment. So we have our end of financial year sale, and it's one of our biggest sales yet. 40% off, guys. So get in. I would suggest getting in. It's first 100 orders. First 100 orders, and it finishes June 31st, the end of June. So we're starting it now, guys. So it's a really good time to get a bundle. A bundle is for people if you're suffering really large infestations. That will give you a really good discount off. And get you started. And a bundle will cover you for 3 to 4 months. That is our recommended treatment time. That's recommended. So that's based on our studies of one adult with a high to severe infestation. But of course, there's a lot of factors that can go into that time frame as well. But it's a good time to invest in a bundle. Even if you wanted to start off small, you can do a basic kit as well. That's a good one to begin with. That'll last you for 4 to 6 weeks, and we generally put in an extra product because it does take at least a month for your skin to adjust to the products. So that's why we unfortunately don't do samples, because you're not going to see something immediately. So it takes time. That's the biggest thing we can't give you, but we can work with it. So our code for our end of financial year sale is 40 EOFY. 40. I'll put it in the notes as well. I'll post it on the group as well. So yeah, so jump on, guys. Do the quiz. I hope I explained the protocol correctly. It's really straightforward. You've got to do it every night. I've seen the results. And I just want to say a big thank you to all my customers out there and you guys that give me big praises on the group and stuff like that. So, I know how hard it is having mites. I personally don't have them, but I tell you what, at the end of the day, I certainly feel like I do. So I'm a big, I empathize with you guys, and I take on a lot of what you're going through. So I totally understand. But yeah, so please reach out to us. We've even got the online chat feature as well. And we're always here, and take advantage of the sale. So it's a good time to get on. And so 40 EOFY, end of financial year. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.